Welcome to Project Update number 3 for the USS KIDD Shipyard period. Gunnery, destroy that like button. Target subscribe, fire as you may. First up, the cropping of wasted metal in the decking of the 5-inch guns was previously reported on. New metal has now been put in place. Final welding and cleanup is to follow. The Dumbwaiter shaft has been cut out on its lower terminus at the food service line on the second platform. Removal of the 2 remaining levels are scheduled once abatement is completed. Another anachronistic museum modification was identified down in the Enlisted mess. This display case will be removed to make way for a storage cabinet that once sat here. The cabinet was home to the ship's film projector. The new cabinet will display the World War II era DeVry projector donated to us by our friends at the USS KIDD Submarine Memorial back in March of 2023. This anachronistic machinery will also be hitting the scrap pile. Just kidding, just kidding. Overnight campers do not fear, the air conditioner stays. The overhead insulation in aft crew berthing C205L, the armory, shipfitter shop, steering gear room, and adjoining spaces and passageways has all been removed. Fireproof tarping has been placed to cover lockers, equipment, wiring, and lighting fixtures. This is all in preparation for the redecking of the main deck on the Fantail. Why is the Fantail deck being replaced? As you can see here, it's severely corroded. When looking for blueprints for us, volunteer Ed Sikowski found notes showing that the metal used to build the Fantail decking was galvanized steel. While standard galvanized steel would be more resistant to saltwater corrosion than normal steel, that protective coating may not have lasted very long. The first time young sailors of the deck division scraped and painted the Fantail decks, the integrity of that galvanized coating would have been compromised. In addition to this, the deck, as built, is very thin in this portion of the ship, being only 9/32 of an inch on the outer edges and 7/32 of an inch in the middle of the Fantail. Enlisted berthing C201L, known to museum staff as the sewing room, has had all of the floor tile removed. Repair of wasted metal on the deck beneath the overhead scuttle and the ladder has begun. Stainless steel doublers have been added to the locations of the twin and quad 40mm gun mounts. When the mounts were returned to KIDD in the 1980s, they were welded directly to the deck. The foundations that the guns were originally mounted to had long ago been cut off. So water has been able to get down through the guns and be trapped beneath them for all these years. Once removed, the yard blasted the exposed steel and found it to be in good condition. They then zinced the exposed steel and then placed the stainless steel doubler atop it to protect that coating, extending its lifespan. When the twin mounts were removed, it was found that the Navy had already put steel doublers there for reinforcement when they mounted the guns in Philadelphia in 1982 before turning the ship over to the museum. This steel also proved to be in good condition, was blasted and zinced, and have had stainless doublers, in this case a triple plate, put into place. The museum staff has worked with Battleship Texas in Galveston to obtain blueprints for the quad 40mm foundations and is currently working with the National Park Service and USS Cass and Young in Boston to obtain prints for the twin 40mm foundations. All of the ship's fuel and ballast tanks have been cleaned of any oil residue and have been chemically tested for entry. Once the ship is moved into dry dock and is up on blocks, teams will then enter the tanks to conduct abatement wherever the cradle's touch points are located so that the thinned metal can be cropped and renewed. Demolition of the shipboard sewage system, say that 3 times fast, has begun in the aft fire room. Remember, this is a museum modification. KIDD retired long before the Clean Water Acts caused the U.S. Navy to have sewage systems backfitted to older vessels between 1973 and 1985. Before that, wastewater was dumped directly out of the hull and into the ocean. This sewage system was installed when the ship arrived in Baton Rouge in 1982. Unfortunately, the designer used the compartment bulkhead as one side of his square tank. Not good for structural integrity. We'll see in the next update what 42 years of constant exposure to sewage has done to that bulkhead's integrity. So much for compartmentalization. The new system will have a smaller footprint, not be connected to the bulkhead, and will meet modern EPA standards. All of the motors for the ventilation, supply, and exhaust fans aboard ship have undergone maintenance. 2 of them have been removed and sent to a repair shop, with a third scheduled for closer examination under operation. These are vital systems for a ship that exists in 90 to 100 degree weather every summer. We're all about immersing our guests into the World War II environment of a destroyer in the South Pacific, but even the crew would have likely mutinied if the ventilation systems went down.
Mutinied.
Thanks for watching. Remember, visit USSKIDD.com to donate and support this dry docking effort. We appreciate the help.